And that was the first time I was laughing so loud and so out loud. I really want to say one thing. I didn't finish my story about John Ponzio. And I'm leaving out the risque parts. I promise you, John, as a friend. Anyhow, the deal was that the reason why I use a lot of film, by the way, I'm going to correct myself. I made the mistake. I made this DVD, the transfer of this DVD, so long ago that I forgot. This did come from one of my prints. As you'll notice, it did not, or you wouldn't have noticed, there wasn't any logos saying TCM at the bottom, so they copyright their stuff. So they use, but this was from my print. But anyhow, the reason why I do use TCM is because I'm not a millionaire. Not every film was made to be used at a TV station and broadcasted and tossed into the garbage, so other guys could get it and then sell them to guys like me. So a lot of these great films that I really feel you should know about, that you may not even know of if you saw it advertised on TV, to stay up and watch. And a lot of the real good ones that I really feel have aspects that should be mentioned and known about and kept alive and available, they're on like 3 o'clock in the morning. Now, which one of you are going to stay up till 3 o'clock in the morning to watch an old film? Well, there you are. So, anyhow, what I want to tell you is we've got some shows coming up, and I'm doing something new at this library. I've never really shown any mysteries. So I'm going to alter that and change that right now. And I want you all to come. We're videotaping this. By the way, if Diane, could you come here? Sure, come here. Diane Ponzio, Mrs. Diane Ponzio, the very beautiful blonde I always torment with my adoration. John Ponzio is right. Now, if I do this to you, in front of all of you, now it's on camera. Now, are we going to have gossip on this?
Oh, of course we will.
Well, I hope so, because kissing a hot blonde is going to make this program I have even more successful. Say hello to the friend.
Hi.
Tell them how that kiss made you feel.
Wonderful.
There you go. And I only paid her $20 to say that. And thanks, Diane. We're, as you can see, I look at all of you like a family, and we have fun, and thank you. Now, getting back to the next show, because I talk, and go all over the place and never get to the point. The films, why I take them off TCM is due to the fact that not every one of these films I could get on film. Now, back in the days when I first started, by the way, I first started collecting film when I was 8 years old. And that was in Super 8, cut downs of all the classic old movies. But in high school, I got into 16 millimeter. And with 16 millimeter, I was part of the AVI squad in Jamaica High School. And I knew that if a projector was broken or not. They didn't. So, whenever a bulb blew on a projector, they would say, "Oh, this projector's broken. John, throw it out." John put it in an area where the garbage was, which no one saw, and then I would have one of my thug guys, the guys who are like the big thug guys, who always be in the corner smoking cigarettes. I would get them, since they all had cars, to wait for me. I got a projector. I only lived like 2 blocks from the school. So they would drive, "Oh boy, we're doing something criminal. Oh, John, you're cool." So that's how I got the projector. And then a friend introduced me to another guy named Rick Sheckman, who recently passed away, and it really breaks my heart, because this is the man who really made me what I am today, and really taught me the art of film collecting and film history, and just how and what and where and who to get films of this nature, silent and sound. My friend George Bettinger, who passed away, he introduced me to Rick. I went over to Rick's house. Rick had a full house of film. It was like walking me into Nirvana. And he would, of course, get these films since he worked for David Letterman. He was the film person on the David Letterman show. He knew when all these films were being thrown into the trash. So he would pick them all up. He had everything. And he would loan me films with the borrowed project that they thought was garbage. That's a better word. Anyhow, that's how I started collecting film. Because really what it is, it's like being an Indiana Jones, an archaeological film-focused Indiana Jones. And that's the part of the excitement of getting these things. Films that are a couple of 100 years, like 100 years old. I have Charlie Chaplin's first film. It was made in 1914 called Making a Living. Now, but now it's getting harder even to get these things. And that's why I'm making it available for all of you to see and learn and enjoy. And so I'm sorry, Joel, that you didn't do your interpretive dance today.
He was doing a dance today?
He was going to. So I thank you very much. But so here we go. Now at the Amityville, don't let them know that I'm talking about another library. The Amityville Library on June 14th. I'm showing something you really all got to come to because no library has allowed me to show these films. And in fact, I was in church and my friend John Ponzio, who seems to always be in my stories and in my life, he comes to my shows. I gave him a flyer for the show. I put together a show that I called the iconic black musical stars of the 1930s. Now most libraries will not, and they have refused to allow me to show any of these films. Why? As said to me, they know what insults a black person. These films are not insulting. They're not. I go through them with a fine-tooth comb. They do not have blackface. They do not have derogatory references. In fact, the films I've unfortunately had to leave out. I have films with Bessie Smith. She was the first big female black musical star of the 20s. I have a talking film with her, but I couldn't include that because there were sequences in that they are very derogatory and now thought of as racist sequences. Couldn't include that, but I have Cab Calloway, Fats Waller, the Mills Brothers, Betty Boop. Why Betty Boop, you ask? She's a cartoon character and she's white. Well, Betty Boop was stolen from a black Harlem singer named Baby Esther. Baby Esther looked, acted, booped, did everything as Betty Boop would do, and the white musical comedy star Helen Kane was in Harlem, as a lot of white stars would do, to go, and she stole all of Baby Esther's stuff, making Helen Kane the boop boop doop girl, working for Paramount. Paramount then emulated Helen Kane's boop boop doop style as Betty Boop. So there you are. So that's all that's it. But I have the Nicholas Brothers, Nina Mae McKinney, who I am tremendously. In fact, Nina Mae McKinney was the star of the very first talkie musical with an all-black cast. She was known as the Black Garbo. But then when things changed and the attitudes, she only had jobs playing the maids and things like that, derogatory kind of roles. But that's all changed now, and I'm now allowed to show these films because of so many things have changed for the better in this country, that these films are not hidden anymore. And they're not hidden, I think, mainly because I really feel a strong urge to let the other races see how they were represented fantastically. They were household names. They helped mold the entertainment of this country, as well as the sound of this culture, and just really the sound of America itself. So that's why I think you should come to Amityville on July 14th at 1 o'clock. Tattoo that somewhere, please. or have John Panzio come over and he'll memorize your name and address and come and knock on your door and drive you too. Okay, now back at this library, the Levittown fantastically great library, who really has done so much to keep me having these films out for you. We're going mystery. And I'm really excited because in the 27 years that I have been doing these film screening programs and lectures, I have never once shown Basil Rathbone, Nigel Bruce in a Universal Sherlock Holmes mystery.
Which one?
Okay,
Which
the
one?
Scarlet Claw.
That's the best one they've done.
And you think I show
That's
less?
the best one they've done.
There you are. And then it has all the original titles. It has the buy war bonds title. And it's totally complete.
Takes place in Canada.
That's it, exactly. This man knows his stuff. I think he's trying to take over my job. Thank you.
What date is the?
What date? July 24th,
Okay.
2 o'clock, right here. All right? Then, on July 7th, I'm showing a parody of a Manhattan locale murder mystery called The Mad Miss Manton. It is a screwball comedy romance regarding murder in New York City. So you're going to see all of the buildings, all of the darkness, and the noir look of the period in film, but with a parody kind of attitude on it. And that was with Barbara Stanwyck and Henry Fonda. So I got a lot of great films here for you folks. So July 14th. Amityville, okay, July 14th, 1 o'clock, Amityville. July 24th, Levittown, thank you.
Sherlock.
That's Sherlock. And August 7th.
Got it.
Okay, so be there, be square, and remember, I know all of your addresses.
He knows where we live.
Oh, I know where you guys are.
No Charlie Chan.
No. Thank you. Now, if you want Charlie Chan, you're gonna have to speak to Ms. Milligan at this library.
That's always a problem, I know.
So there you are. Yeah, I love you guys. Thank you. I love you. Thank you. I love you all. Thank you. And Joe, you're great. All right, guys, you're all free to go.